All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, all praises and glory goes to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And salutations to Akim in the four corners of the earth, pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. And basically, I just want to go into this lesson, going into following the Spirit, man. Because in this truth, man, the only way to to go about this in this truth is by walking in the Spirit, man. you know so that you could see uh and observe, like, all the signs, man. you know so you could know, whether you're doing the things that please the Most High, or you're just, uh you're just wasting time, man, like playing around with this thing, man. you know But I'm just gonna go straight into it, man, because this is very important, man. Like, we need to be following the Spirit. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 21. Uh, I'm gonna read from verse 20. It says, "And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers." Right? So it's talking about this time now. That because the Lord sends his prophets, man, who through the scripture says that the Lord speaks through the mouth of the prophets, man. So it's really his word out here, man. Through the teachers. It says, "And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left." So spiritually, the Lord is always, if it be that the Lord is with you, man, spiritually, the Most High is gonna be letting you know, like, what to do, in your head, man. He's gonna every time you come up to a situation, well, most importantly, affliction, or when you're in adversity or something, the Lord's gonna tell you what to do, or what decision to make, in order to get you out that jam, man, or so that you could make the right judgment call, and go about with it, man. Fuck is this? You know. So, but we're gonna go more into it right here. It says, this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." Right? Because at the end of the day, the Spirit is talking about the Spirit of truth, man, of understanding of these scriptures, man. Having knowing how to give righteous judgment, man, according to these scriptures. It says, properly having that understanding. It says, and the Lord gives you that, man. That's why the scriptures always says, you got to be meditating on these precepts. It says, for the flesh lusted against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary, the one towards another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. Right? Because at the same time, we try and follow this flesh. I mean, the Spirit, but the flesh is constantly warring against it, man. Trying to make you do deeds that aren't in the vibration of seeking the Most High, man. And living accordingly, how He has commanded us to do, man. This is verse 18. It says, "But if ye be led in the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, and sedition, heresies, envying, murders, drunkenness, reviling, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh." Right. So if you're not walking in the Spirit, if you're not constantly meditating on the Most High's precepts, and having it be as a frontlet in your eye, making your decisions and judgment calls, according to the truth and the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, then you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall into these things, man. You're into these certain things, man. You're not even gonna realize it, right? Because If you're not minding the heavenly things, what are you doing, man? You're being carnal, man. You're minding the things of this world, man. And this is what it leads to, all these things. uh, Verse 22, it says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts." Affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Right. So if you're constantly meditating on the goodness of the Most High, His precepts. These are the things that come upon it, man. When you actually apply it to your life, how it says you should walk in the Spirit. Actually do it, man. Actually live in the Spirit. You know, Come on, man. Because the scriptures, they teach us to benefit, man. They teach us to become a better man for the Lord. You know, and if we keep following it, we're gonna attain it unto these good traits, man. It's really that simple. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 14. It says, "But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolish unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned." It says, "But he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judged by no man." So the natural man, carnal man, he's not gonna receive spiritual things, man. Like the things that we just read. He's not gonna be, a meek person. He's not gonna be a long suffering. You know, uh, he's not gonna have love, man, temperance, all these things, man. Joy, peace, gentleness, faith. You know, that's how you're able to spot a person, man. Whether he's a carnal man. Because he's not gonna receive the spiritual things. Because it's foolishness to him. You know. It says, "But the spiritual man judges all things, yet himself is not judged of no man." So, going back to Isaiah 30 and 21, the Spirit lets you know, what to do. And according to the precepts, you meditating in it, you'll find out the right judgment, man. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 6. It says, "And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart." Right, because we're supposed to be doing this anyways, man. This is a law that we have to do. It says, "And thou shalt teach them diligently on thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hands, and they shall be as frontlets between thy eyes." And we go to the word frontlets is bands, phylacteries, frontlets, marks. Kind of. Let me see if I find a better definition right here. Because really, what it's going to is giving a similitude of like glasses. That's really why they have the fake Jews have. They still carry out that the phylactery custom. Which it's not going off, but that's a how do I say it? It was symbolism of having judging all things through the scriptures. Having that be that the filtering process in your decision making, man. Right? So that's how you walk in the Spirit, man, meditating on these precepts, so the Lord lets you know what to do. Give you a simple example. It'd be a woman, that's hitting on you or whatever, You ask him if she has a man, she got a man. Well, right away, thou shalt not commit adultery. You know, should pop into your head. You know, and so that's gonna let you know what to do. Obviously you're not gonna go do some shit like that. But if you're not in the spirit, constantly meditating upon good the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, then you know that's an obvious case. But in a subtle case, you might miss it, man, and end up going the hell off, man. You know, that's why it's very important that we need to maintain these scriptures, man, maintaining the spirit. I'm gonna keep going. Um, Slacky. Right. Galatians 6 and 7, it says, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. Right. So if you're constantly, meditating and dealing with fleshly things, like, it says, you're gonna reap things of the flesh, man. Always worrying about your family, worrying about getting a woman, worrying about getting established in this place, shit like that. Well, man, it's gonna be all corrupt, man. It's not gonna yield good fruits to you, man. It's not gonna be beneficial to you. It says, but he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. So it's really what you spending your time on, man. What are you doing? And it says that he that soweth in the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. Right? It's talking about salvation, man. This is Romans chapter 8 verse 5. It says, "For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit." Right? Where's your mind at, man? What are you minding? Hey, through the abundance of the heart, that's what a man speaks. So what are you speaking of, man? Are you breaking bread? You know, uh, hey, man, it's plain and simple, man. Do you have them frontlets on, man? Verse 6, it says, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." Right? Because the Lord hates the carnal mind. Right here it says verse 7, "Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be." Right? You're not even meditating on the law, so how can you be subject to it? It says, "So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh," because you're not following his law, statutes, and commandments. You're worrying about some carnal shit, man. Verse 9, it says, "But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Now if any man have not the spirit of Hamashiach, he is none of his." Because you should want to do the right thing. Because the true servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushua are gonna be looking to please their creator, man. And not be found a reprobate, man, doing wicked shit. Verse 13, it says, "For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye through the spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live." Right? "For as many as are led by the spirit of Yahweh, they are the sons of Yahweh." This is Romans chapter 13 verse 14. It says, my bad. No, that wasn't even it. This is St. John chapter 16 verse 13. It says, "Howbeit when the Spirit of truth is come, he will guide you into all truth. For ye shall not speak of himself, but whosoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come." But the point is up top. It says, "Howbeit when he when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you. You know, the Spirit of truth. What's the truth? You know, you never know the truth if you don't read it for yourself. It's in the scriptures, and that'll be a guiding unto you. You know, because let me say this, because the scriptures, you could read them, but you need to have that understanding, man. And the Spirit is dealing in the camp of Great Millstone, man. You know, because the proper breakdowns and the proper understanding is coming out from these men. You know, and that same spirit that resides here in Great Millstone, it guides you, man. You know what to do. You know how to spiritually discern. To make correct judgment, man, on any matter. You know, on any affliction that comes your way. This is verse John 15:26. But when the Comforters come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the Spirit of truth, which proceeded from the earth, he shall testify of me. You know, so there goes again, man. It's the Spirit of truth that's out here. You know, to properly have understanding on what the Lord is talking about. You know, what was his whole mission, man? Like what does he want his righteous men to do? You know, and they're all gonna have that same guideline, man. You know, not to eat pork, man. You know, don't be not having sex on the Sabbath. You know, or any situation, man. You know how to treat your brother, man. No, realizing whether you offended a brother. You know, because it says a wise man shall fear in all things, man. So you're constantly looking out, like, checking to see that you don't go off, man. That you're walking spiritually, man, or working unto good works, man. You know, according to the scriptures. Because if you constantly have that mindset, you're gonna more catch the little fuck ups, that come across man. You know, and the scripture says a just man falleth 7 times. So when you catch it, it says that he lifted himself back up. So you keep working on yourself. You keep meditating on the precepts, and surely, little by little, you start growing, man. You know, the things from before that were hard, they start becoming easier, man. And you go on, to break down more strongholds, man. I'm gonna read the scripture over here in Sirach 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble." So we know that when we come into this truth, we're gonna get tempted, man. We're gonna get all these temptations that come our way. But according to the scriptures and through the Spirit, we got to make that right decision, man. Whether it be, because a lot of the times, you'll get tempted just to see if you're gonna do the right thing, man. Like, it's commanded in the scriptures that we go out on the highways and the byways. But when it gets real cold, that's a temptation right there, because the flesh will start wanting to say, "Nah, man, it's too cold. I want to stay inside." But if you're in the Spirit, you're gonna say, "Nah, man. Scripture says, be in season and out of season, man." So that's gonna prove, that's gonna prove that you walking in the Spirit, man. I'm gonna finish it off right here. This is James chapter 2 verse 18. It says, "Yeah, man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without works. Slakia, show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works." Right? And that's a great way of showing faith as well, man. Knowing that affliction, knowing that tribulation came from the Most High, and that He wants, you gotta be able to realize that these temptations, is the Lord trying you to see if you're gonna pass the test, you know, and leaning onto the scriptures and making that right decision according to the scriptures shows faith, man. You know, because you're showing the Most High that you believe in Him, man, and that He's looking down upon your works. Like, what are you deciding to do, man? Are you just gonna slack off and not go to camp for many of the reasons you come up with, or are you gonna be in the spirit and make that faithful call and be like, nah, man, the Lord pleases me into going out, so guess what? That's what I'm gonna do, man. You know. I didn't mean to make it neither long-winded, neither too, but I just want to push that point across, man. That these tests, you pass them by walking through the Spirit, man. And it's part of showing faith unto the Most High, man. You know, but that's it, man. Hopefully the elect out there was edified. Once again, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And salutations to Yakim in the four corners of the earth, pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Then I'm going to say Shalom.